Hello students, welcome to the Smart World, the School of Complete Education. Today the topic is Chapter 9, Settled Life and Urban Civilization. 9.1, we will discuss the use of metals, and 9.2, pots made on the potter's wheel. 9.3, trade and transport. 9.4, rise of cities and script. 9.5, social organization in the ancient cities. Now we are going to discuss the use of metals. We may have wondered about the first metal that human used. We have to definitely know that what the metal that the human has been used in the first. So museums in Europe had large collections of prehistoric artifacts and antique objects. In Europe only we have get some things in museums. They have the collections of large collections of some prehistoric artifacts and antique objects. Okay, a scholar named Christian Thompson introduced a method for classifying them. He only introduced the system. He only introduced a method for classifying the prehistoric and antique objects. So his name is Christian Thompson. It is called 3H system. This method is called 3H system, and then he has classified into three types. What the first one is stone tools, that means stone age period, and then copper tools and other copper articles, that is a copper age. So in the stone age only they use that stone tools, that's why he told that the stone age. And then the copper tools, they use the coppers like this, so that's why he classified it as a copper age. And then only iron tools and other iron articles, so they use the iron, so that's why he may classify it as a iron age. So there are three stages, the 3H system. So that is first one is stone age, second one copper age, and third one will be iron age. So Thompson is established with the help of evidence that the stone tools were the earliest. So he may clearly define that the first age, that means the stone age. So we may know that the Homo habilis, Homo habilis may use the stone as a tool which make some fires like this they created. So that's why he may created the stone as a first stage. Okay, and then the period of copper tools and articles was next. Okay, and then only he may classify it as a copper as the next stage. So it was followed by the period of iron tools and articles, and then only he may classify the iron. Accordingly, three periods were named: the stone age, copper age and iron age respectively. This gave a rise to the belief that copper was the first metal to come into use. So that's why we may clearly define that the copper was the first metal the human may use that. Okay, this is the thing, ancient gold objects. Okay, these are ancient gold objects. That's all that. Actually, gold was the first metal to be used. Gold is a soft metal. Actually, the gold maybe they used it as a first. So that's why the gold may be a soft metal. So it could not be used for making a tools and implements. So we cannot alone make a jewels only with the use of a gold. We may use some different metals like with a copper, like with they use. So that's why we may use some another thing. Humans then discovered another metal which could be used for these purposes. For converting into jewelry, they use some different metals also. That's why that metal was called copper. So the period when copper came into use is called copper age. So when the period which may use as the copper, that age is called copper age. So this is to make it easy to turn the pot while shaping it. A rotating plank was probably used at first. So for getting a pot, they use some different rotating plank for first, and then only the pot was shaped with one hand, and the another one was rotating it. It is possible to get a originated pot. So that's why till recent times. So this is the Egyptian picture which rotate in one hand and then shaping that pot in another hand. So this is a picture, and then a pointed quartz pebble fixed at the bottom of the potter's wheel. This pebble is known as pivot. So this is called pivot. It can be rotate, and then only they created the pot. So this is called pivot, and when the potter's wheel is put in motion, it is balanced on the pivot and revolves with a great speed. So this is a method they use at a pot to create a pot. So they can rotate in one hand and then create a pot in another hand to get a shape. Okay, so this is a method when they created the pot. And 9.2 will discuss the pots made on the potter's wheel. The Copper Age was a age of many new inventions and rapid change. So the people may created the many things, many metal items with the use of copper. Then only it is called as a Copper Age is a many new inventions and a rapid change. So the invention of the wheel is the most important among them. So the most important thing we now also we may discuss. Now also we may encourage that means a man who created the wheel. Okay, that's why in the stage only they they created the wheel. Okay, it is generally agreed that the wheel was first used by the potters. So that means the wheel was first have been used by the potters to create the pots. Okay, its use in carts and chariots probably began a little later, and then only they may use it as a carts and chariots. Okay, then only they use it as a vehicle for rotating wheels and use it in a vehicle. First of all, they used a wheel for the purpose of creating the pots. Okay, 9.3. Once the potters began to use a wheel, it became possible to make a pots in large numbers. Once they use the wheels, they can create a large number of pots in a few minutes or a few seconds. So this is a wheel. It can rotate in a very fast way. So that's why they may create a large number of pots in a smaller time. In this period, people started making a symmetrical and colorful with the beautiful designs on them. Okay, and then time only the man will create some creative idea with the parts, and then only they create some designs and beautiful colors on that. So that's why they may use the pot in different ways. So I gave example. So these are some examples. Likewise, they may use a pot like create a paints. Likewise, they may created. So these are some examples. These like they may created designs and give a beautiful colors on that. Okay, so that are some more examples. And then potters and other craftsmen began to live close to each other in the village settlement, so as to manage their work more easily. So that's why the potters and the other craftsmen began live to closer for their convenience to create some better pots and then better designs and give some difference in that one. So that's why they are living in one place and to create some creative ideas. So we can say that this became the industrial area of the village, where skilled craftsmen have their settlements and centers of production. So that's why they are living in one place. So that area is called industrial area for their purpose. That area is called the craftsmen, and then skilled craftsmen, likewise who they are created the pots. This happened mainly in those village settlements where the raw material was easily available, and in those which were conveniently suited for trade. So they are lived in a village settlements for easily getting a raw material, likewise a sand, and then the wheel, likewise. So for their convenience only they have chosen the place and lived in that place. Okay, according to their trading purpose. As a scale of production increased, trade too expanded. With the scale of production increase, the trading also increases. Okay, therefore there was a need to change the old system of transport. It may be the pots may produce very largely, means they have to trade in the very large level only. So that's why they may change their old transport. For example, they may went for some places, means with the walkable distance, likewise they have to change the carts and chariots. Okay, it was in the first period that wheeled vehicles like carts and chariots were first brought into use. Okay, then only they used the carts to transport from one place to another place for trading purpose. 9.4 Rise of cities and script. Long distance trade, rapid transport of goods and centers of a large scale production are a factors that brought together people engaged in different types of work. Large distance large distance trade and rapid transport of goods and services may increase a large scale of production. So that's why the people may engage in different types of work. So it becomes necessary to keep a permanent records of the expanding trade and growing production. To keep a permanent records, they have to transport with a large number of distance by for expanding their trade and promoting their products. By now, signs and symbols have already come into use for the purpose of keep recording. So at that time they use the signs and symbols have been already came into for keeping the records. Okay, broken pieces of clay pots with such signs have been found in the large numbers during excavations. During excavations they may found that the broken pieces of clay pots, they have such a signs with regarding of the record keeping. The increase in the trade and the production and the growth in the volume of records to be kept resulted in much modification and improvement in the signs and symbols used for these purposes. Their increase in the trade and the production and the volume of records has been resulted in the signs and symbols, that the symbols and the signs may describe that the volume of increase in their productions and the trade. Okay, in this way each culture developed in its own script. So this is a wheeled crafts, carts and chariots that can be used for the purpose of trading the goods from one place to another, trading the pots from one place to another. This is the Harappan civilization. They used this type of vehicles. Okay, 9.5 This is the ancient signs and symbols which can be used for recording the things. Okay, record keeping things. 9.5 Social organization in the ancient cities. It is true that rise in a trade had been the major factor that contributed to the emergence and development of cities, where the development of a trade from one place to another which give the development in the cities. Okay, however the culture of those cities had its roots in the culture of village settlements of a new stone age, where the culture of the new stone age which is similar to the culture of the village settlement. So the village settlement only converted into the culture of those cities. So that's why they have to follow the village settlements only. Okay, the fight system rooted in the agriculture way of life continued in the urban way of life too. The culture of the agriculture way, that's why equal to the similar to the urban life also. Okay, the social life and the festivals based on agricultural faith systems became more elaborate in cities that had based on agricultural faith systems became more elaborate in cities that had prospered because of the rise in trade. Okay, the village settlements festivals and the social life has been more elaborate to the cities also. So then because of the rise of the trade, that's why the culture and the social life also elaborate to them. Grand temples were built in cities and chiefs of those temples became chief administrators of those cities. Likewise the village administrative also have all the rules and regulation. So as the same of the in the cities also the chief administrators have the all the rules and regulations, and they created some rules and regulation for their regulations for their living purpose. Okay, that's why they created some temples and appointed some chief administrators for their promoting them, and then encourages them. Later the position of the temple head and that of the king went to the same individual. This was the beginning of the ancient urban civilization of the world. We will learn more about them in the next lesson. Okay, and then only the king were same individual. Likewise, he may rule that. So more the things we have to learn in the next lessons. Okay, this is the 9th lesson. The exercise. From the chart below, find out the names of the 3 periods. Okay, stone, copper, iron. Likewise, we have to find out from the chart. And then second one, arrange the following in chronological order. Okay, what's the first one? Likewise, we have to choose that. Write about the consequences of the following events: discovery of copper, invention of the wheel, use of script. Okay, write notes. We have to write a notes, activities, and do you know this? It's okay. The inscription, the Rosetta Stone. The inscription known as the Rosetta Stone was discovered in 1799 AD. After the death of the Christ, they discovered some Rosetta Stone. As a stone is broken, only a section of the original inscription is seen on it. So some of the things are being broken in the stone. They may get some one piece. Likewise, the inscription is in the Egyptian language. It was in Egyptian language, so it wasn't discovered in the Egypt. Today, the Rosetta Stone is kept in the British Museum in London. At first sight, it appears to have 3 different inscriptions in 3 sections, but actually the inscription consists of the same matter in 3 different scripts. The script in the topmost section in ancient Egyptian script known as hieroglyphs. It means a script of gods. The script in the middle section was used for the routine documents, and it is known as demotic script. It was a simplified form of the Egyptian hieroglyphs. The script in the bottom section is Greek. Okay, there are the 3 scripts has been described in the stone. First of all, they use it as a first one in hieroglyphs, and that means a script of gods, and second one in routine documents, and third one will be a document. So third one will be in a Greek language. So in this scripture announces that the new king Ptolemy V to the throne. He may created the stone. This inscription has a special importance as a source of Egyptian history because it became possible to read the forgotten Egyptian script with the help of those other scripts. Okay, this may example that the Egyptian has a special importance of the Egyptian history. It gives a possible to read the forgotten Egyptian scripts. Okay, and then only the name Ptolemy written in the demotic script was read first with the help of Greek script. They may use the Greek script to use to read the things. There are some authors may use it to read this. Hence, he first read all the foreign names in the inscription, and based on that work, prepared a chart for all the letters. Okay, according to the some French teachers, likewise some of the foreign teachers, they get a help, and then what they created the chart. This is the evidence that the copper was in. So this is a chart they created to describe this was first section, and this was second section, and this demotic section, and this was in Greek sections. So the author the French teacher may describe that the one. This is the evidence that the copper was in even 7,000 years ago. This is a copper may used 7,000 years ago. in the regions where copper was very rare. It is not possible to use a copper in large quantities. Therefore, people in such regions kept using mainly stone tools and implements even though they knew how to use a copper. So, okay, before the 7,000 years ago, there are not large number of quantities of a copper. So that's why they may use the copper as a little use, and then they use a many number of things in a stone tools only. So that's why they know how to use a copper in a smaller age and how to use the copper in a effective way only. Copper objects are found at the ancient sites in such regions, but only in a very small numbers. The copper may also found in a very large numbers, but the small number of people may use that effective. So such sites are called chalcolithic sites and not as copper age sites. That site is called a chalcolithic age, not as a copper age. Okay, chalcols means a coppers and lithos means a stone. So that's the age of copper and the stone is a chalcolithic age. So the combination of the copper and the stone is called chalcolithic age. So copper is harder than gold. It is still too soft for making the objects from it. However, when tin is added to it, it becomes sufficiently hard. So gold is a very smooth, soft thing. So that's why they created the copper with it, and then they created the jewelry like the mixture or alloy of copper and the tin is known as a bronze. So the mixture of the alloy and then alloy of copper and the tin is called a bronze. They created the new item. People in the new stone had begun to use a bronze in the making of various objects. The new stone age is known as the bronze age. So they created the alloy of copper and tin. The combination is called bronze. And then people make in the new stone age they use a bronze. So the new stone age is also known as a bronze age. Metals must be melted, make an alloy. Knowledge of how to melt a zinc and a tin dates back to almost 1,000 years before the making of bronze. 1,000 years before making of a bronze, they have to define that the zinc and the tin. Okay, this is the picture, a mirror and a plate. It is a copper inch. Okay, this is a 9th lesson. Thank you.